Yo, there he is. In this Then and Now podcast on a Friday night stream. Welcome everybody. Welcome back. Party showed up like right at the finish line.
That's how I do.
He was counting seconds.
I know. I was getting nervous. Okay. Do you got your gameplay ready to throw a party?
Yeah, let me get out of Ragnarok because that's what I've been on all day.
I ain't mad at it. That game is what feels like a masterpiece to me. I don't know if that's game of the year for y'all or if you got Elden Ring, but for me that's game of the year right now. I ain't gonna lie to
you. I think so. Yeah. Nothing really jumps out to me right now that came out earlier in the year that was like
Elden Ring?
I have it. I still haven't played it yet.
What about that cat game?
Oh, Stray?
The simulator thing? Yeah.
I haven't played that joint either.
I'm not a cat dude. I didn't run it. But I can see why people liked it. Are people still playing it like that, though?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think it turned out to end up being free if you had the premium PlayStation package thing. It was like game of the month.
I never picked it up.
It said the time change. Oh, to change the weekly reset? Oh, that's still Tuesday. It's just by hour. So as you can see, I haven't played all week.
I ain't even mad at it, bro.
Everything is Telesto, which I already have, so I don't know what that means.
I think they said they're selling Telesto too. Basically, with the little patch, whatever they just did, it broke Telesto again. So.
Oh, that was my favorite fusion rifle.
So basically, like Bungie, got in on the trolling. So that's why it's like all that Telesto stuff going on, and then they ended up selling it today.
So I tried to make my Optimus Prime Titan.
Damn, he does like Optimus. That's crazy. That's wild.
I forgot how to put my helmet on in the menu.
It's in the settings.
Yeah.
You go to the gameplay settings. The helmet's there.
Oh man.
There it is.
Always on.
Have y'all did y'all talk about the conclusion of Game of Thrones?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, bet.
A little more like Starscream than anything.
I don't know. That's pretty much spot on Optimus to me. Either that or Cobra Commander. One of the two.
Yeah, I like it.
What do y'all think about the Henry Cavill news with him leaving The Witcher to get back to DC?
I mean, even at first, hold on, we got to go back. First of all, we need to talk about rest in peace, Kevin Conroy. That effing broke me this morning that I heard that he passed yesterday, and he's been a big part of my life. Unfortunately, I never got a chance to actually meet him at any of the cons, but he was beloved by all, and as me, my most favorite Batman out of everybody.
What about you, Ting? How'd you feel about it?
I didn't really know much. On the background of him, I had to Google right quick.
Did you watch a lot of the animated series stuff from DC?
When I was younger, it was mostly X-Men, Batman Beyond-ish.
Gotcha. Well, he played.
He was Beyond. He was.
Was he?
Yeah, he was Bruce Wayne. That was his voice too.
He's pretty much played Batman from any animated series and a lot of the animated for the last
movies.
Plus years, something like that.
And he did the Arkham series too.
Yes. Dude is literally whenever I read a Batman book, he's the voice I hear in my head.
Exactly.
So yeah, that hurt me.
Mark Hamill as the Joker.
Yeah.
I ain't really the day he passes the day I'm a curl on the ball. I'm a Star Wars fan too, so that hits me on multiple angles.
He was also like one of the voices in Avatar too.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he wouldn't do another, Batman movie if Conroy wasn't in it, because he was the only reason why he actually did any of his Joker roles.
Yeah,
in the animated movies and shows.
yeah. Because initially they didn't cast him; they cast somebody else. I think if you go back, I forget, I can't remember. There's like a video of like the original guy that voiced the Joker, and it's not it. It's not it compared to what you heard from him.
Right.
Yeah, for me too. It really hurt me to hear that he passed away, man. Especially now, I think I've talked about it on the podcast a couple times, but I've been a fan of wanting the animated series stuff to come back. Just for, I think every interview you see from the original cast, when it comes from Conroy, Lamar, everybody, they all wanted to do it. Bruce Timm, all the writers wanted to do it, but the Warner Brothers never put that back together. So I'm just like, damn, I wanted this to happen before they all got too old to play the roles and pass away. Now one of the biggest pieces and one of the biggest parts of that show passed away. So I'm like, I don't even know if I want it anymore, because you can't really have Batman without in the Justice League or DCEU.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to see that part recast really. It won't feel the same.
That's what they'll do to recast, or if not, they can. They could go like the mystery route.
Possibly
AFK.
They could possibly just have one of the Bat family take over the mantle, I guess, and pull like a Black Panther. But that's tough for me, man.
Oh,
that's
spoiler alert! Got to put the spoiler alert on that one.
Well, I only never seen the spoiler alert because it's on the posters. Like, Shuri's face is on the posters and everything, probably. So we know that he's not there. Somebody takes it over. Speaking of that, well, have y'all seen that? If y'all seen it,
I saw it last night.
Tink, have you seen
it? I have yet.
You say you haven't?
I haven't. Yeah, I have to wait till like Monday.
Okay, so we won't get into too much talk about that. All I will say is that it was an amazing movie. It was really great to see Black women at the forefront. Beautiful Black women. Angela Bassett killed it. I'm a young gun, so I haven't seen too many Angela Bassett films that she's been in. I don't know where this ranks in her all-time roles of things that she's been able to like lead in, pretty much. But this was some amazing acting in this movie. I don't know. Yeah. Cardi, do you have any spoiler-free thoughts on the movie?
Spoiler-free. Oh, like I said, I can't wait for Riri origin story to come out on Disney Plus, and hopefully they do that right. Because I was a big Riri fan. I've been reading her for a little bit.
I haven't read too much of her stuff.
It's good stuff.
Because I think they had her like top 5 in the hierarchy of like smartest people in Marvel Comics, right?
Yeah, she's up there.
So I know what it's like. Moon Girl was like number 1. Then it's like Reed, Doom. Well, no, because you gotta have Amadeus Cho in there, right?
Moon Girl doesn't count because she's technically not human.
Is she not?
She's an Eternal.
I didn't know. I knew of her, but I didn't really know her backstory. So.
Oh, yeah, so are they like Celestials? No.
They're pretty much built by the Celestials.
By the Celestials.
Yeah. Okay, so they're like little robots or something like that along the lines.
They're organic in the comics, I think, right?
Yeah, they're organic in the comics. The movie kind of throws it all the way off. But movies.
It's cool. I mean, I honestly, that movie I liked. I didn't really hate that movie too much. I thought The Eternals was pretty decent.
It was long as fuck.
It was
long.
It was.
I think I like nodded off here and there. I had to watch it like twice.
It was one of those long. What are y'all looking forward to coming forward though? Like any shows or movies y'all looking forward to with the MCU coming up?
What's the next on the Phase 4?
It should be
February.
I don't know. This is the end of Phase 4.
Yeah, end of Phase. So Phase 5 starting with next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think it's.
Yeah, I think it's. Yep. Yeah.
And then I think they get into Secret Invasion, which I'm excited for. If y'all watch the podcast to any extent, y'all know how much of a Sam Jackson fan I am. And seeing him lead his own show, that's with Marvel money behind it. I'm like, yeah, I'm ready for this.
I don't know if they're gonna do that justice as well.
I hope so, man.
The way I see the trailer, the Secret Wars is not matching up with the Secret Wars that's in the comics.
But it's Secret Invasion.
Oh, is that Secret Invasion?
Yeah, Secret Invasion. This is gonna be the.
Well, Secret Wars is still with Doom and
Yeah, that we haven't seen anything from that yet. That's just been like
Spider-Man
verbally announced.
I don't know if they're gonna put that together. We'll see.
It's gonna be a tough one because you gotta have Spider-Man, Hulk.
I'm waiting for both Secret Wars and Secret Invasion, but they gotta bring in Spider-Woman eventually for that. And who else was in there that was like C ranked? Good role in
Okay, so does the Madam Web tie into it, or is that totally different?
To my knowledge, I don't think so.
It's totally. The thing is, Madam Web was never really a comic book character anyway. She came through in the Amazing Spider-Man during the '90s, so she wasn't a canon character. I guess until now.
Yeah. I think to be honest,
we really don't know much about Madam Web other than what was in the cartoon series.
They did something weird with her. They like had it where she like gave her powers to somebody else, and that was Spider-Woman's origin or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's
funky.
why I think like there's like a couple of them or something like that. I was just wondering like if it'll like tie into it, you know, like what they kind of did with that venom shit. And they backtracked, I guess.
Right. A theory I heard was that they were gonna tie in the Across the Multiverse movie, and they were gonna make that like a tie-in to the MCU now, and like have it to where I guess somebody from the main MCU like jumps into that movie or cameos in it or something. They kind of show that that's connected, I guess, to an extent.
The multiverse.
Yeah, with the Miles Morales movie.
Yeah, that would kind of make sense if they do something like that.
That'd be cool. I think that's when they have exponential options they can go with.
True. Or the Contest of Champions. That would also be a good.
So who?
The Contest of Champions.
What was that? I can't remember what that was.
What was it with the Collector and Thing, and they just forcing everybody to. What was that? That was also part of the Spider-Man animated series.
The Contest of Champions.
The Collector, you mean the one from like
Guardians?
Guardians?
Look it up real quick.
When you say that, I'm immediately thinking like the Teen Titans thing, where they had like not Mogo, it was somebody like that.
I mean, it was a video game too. I don't know. I can't remember it right now.
They got a lot of stuff they can do coming up with the MCU. I don't know. I think this Black Panther movie was a good way to bounce it out because they've been throwing out a lot of like. I don't want to say mid because I feel like it's overused now, but it has been pretty mediocre up to this point.
I didn't want to log into social media for a long time, but I did log into Twitter and there was a lot of good things said about it. So I think it's a good way to end phase 4. They ended on a good note, so
it has me excited at what's coming next, for sure.
Excited for like Ant-Man next.
Yeah, I know
why.
I know like Otis and I don't think Ethan's a big fan of Paul Rudd at all.
You see, I can't talk to those people. I can't talk to them.
Yeah, Otis hates Paul Rudd.
Oh my God, what?
Yeah.
No.
He hates his passion. I don't know if he's like hype. I don't know if he's like overdoing it for the show or if he genuinely hates him that much. But at least on the podcast, he does not like Paul Rudd whatsoever.
Oh my God. I've always been like a huge fan of him since like the Clueless days.
I haven't seen. I'm kind of indifferent on him. I like him well enough from watching the first 2 Ant-Man movies. I think he's cool for what he's doing.
And I like him. You don't think? I have this theory like he is white. But he's been aging really good. That means like it has to mean like he's unproblematic or something like that.
He got a carefree spirit. Yo, Paul Rudd is almost 50, yo.
Yes.
Oh, damn. Yeah, he aged good for sure because he does not.
Yeah,
he
exactly. He does not look 50. And mind you, a lot of white people at that age they already look like the man inside. He looks great.
Which, funny enough, what is this? Was it Michelle Pfeiffer's Janet in that?
I'm sorry, he's over 50. He's 53.
Are you serious?
That dude. He's great. Look at that.
Yeah, 1969.
That means he's like super not problematic. Like this guy's living a great life.
Is it Michelle Pfeiffer
playing Janet Van Dyne?
What actor is that? I can't remember.
She did last time, right?
Yeah, she's in it in this one.
Yeah.
She's aged like crazy.
Yes.
Like I remember being little and seeing her in
64.
in that Tim Burton Batman, and I was just like, damn.
I was like, oh yeah, me too. I was like, oh my god. But I did hear some stuff.
Hey, Michael Pena's almost 52. Everyone's getting old
in the industry.
You said what, Tim?
That she was like a problematic person in the industry. Maybe that's why she aged like that.
Oh damn.
Hey man,
she looks good to me. I don't think she aged bad to me personally.
I think she did. You could always tell by the neck area.
You could always tell by the turkey neck.
We always said you could always tell by the neck area.
Oh, big shout out to Pokemon Ash Ketchum finally becoming world champ today.
Yo, dude,
after 25 goddamn years.
Yes, we've been waiting our whole childhoods for that. And look, we adults now.
I had to run back and go back and watch the episode. I was like, holy shit, I lost faith in you. I thought you was never.
Oh my god, that was me. That episode when Butterfree came back. Oh my god.
See, I checked out of Pokemon a while back, man.
I did too. I was like, I got tired of nigga losing.
But then I saw like a couple memes of like, Butterfree coming back. I had to watch the episode.
Gotta bring back the GOAT. Gotta bring back the Gen 1s, man.
So
bring back the Gen 1s. All the Pokemon he just let go for no goddamn reason. Jesus. Like, go be free. Like, nigga, you need him. What are you talking about? That's what I thought about Charizard. When he let Charizard go and train like he was Goku.
Charizard was Goku.
Say, Charizard, I'm gonna leave you with the pack of Charizard. I'm gonna come back to you in like 10 years.
I'll be honest, that Pokemon I would have gladly gave him up too. He was so disrespectful, man.
Now, one thing I did check back in for was when they did the Mega Evolutions. Did y'all like that at all?
No, I didn't watch that one yet.
I didn't really watch the show. No, I watched like a lot of the gameplay from the games. When they brought in like it was like a Mega Evolved Charizard where he's like blue and black.
Yeah, I did the Gigantamax for a Sword and Shield.
I remember when I got that card and I was like, yo, they gypped me.
I stopped collecting cards too. Look, I still got my cards though. I got all my holographics from Gen 1 secured.
Nice. I be talking a lot of Gaga, but I have this gold Charizard card. Like literally the card itself is like gold. Metal.
I don't have that. I don't remember. I have all the promo. I got all the promo cards from the movies.
And it is it's a Charizard GX.
Oh, GS, okay.
I need to go. I got like a book full of my Pokemon cards back home. I gotta look at.
Me too. I have Pokemon cards. I still have Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
All my junk in my basement. Yeah, I let go of my Yu-Gi-Oh cards because you can't barely use half of them anymore.
I know, but it's the nostalgia for me. Like I don't know. I feel like I can't part with it yet.
Have y'all played Yu-Gi-Oh Master Duel at all?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went ham on it. I ain't gonna lie. It took a minute because I haven't really watched Yu-Gi-Oh since I think the furthest I went was I watched like part of Zexal maybe, which is like the third from the end, at least from where they're at now. And it was decent. It was pretty good, but they got some new cards out now playing Master Duel where dudes will like have you in a turn for like 20 minutes just like going through their entire deck, like locking you out of the field.
That's why I started playing. Like, it's free to play. I downloaded it and someone ran a pendulum deck, and I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this.
See, that's not even the worst one. You can break pendulum decks pretty easily. You just gotta have.
I just started off. I ain't had the right cards to do nothing. It's like, my first person.
You can get them playing. I built like 3 different decks for free. Like I haven't put a single diamond to the game yet.
I'm not ready to, be crying in the corner like that.
I put like a bean worth in the on the mobile game.
Hey man, we gotta get y'all into it, bro, because they just introduced team duels with the update they have now.
Team duels.
Yeah, it's not what you would think from the anime where they have everybody on the same board, but it's pretty much like you're doing a bunch of 1v1s, but the people that get the most wins out of your squad wins.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's a 3v3.
Like a round robin, John.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's been fun. I've been playing it with my homeboy a little bit. It's been fun, but I'm trying to get Otis back into it. I know Otis played competitively back in the day. So I'm like, we can get somebody that knows what they're doing in here and be nasty. Now the new stuff, they added in some cards that made older decks godly though. Like my Dark Magician deck is ungodly now.
Oh, come on.
From all the support they added into it.
Get the we got a Thunderlord ornament this week, and I ain't got enough break dust. It's bullshit.
I'm ready for that.
That's cool.
What's the new season called for Destiny with the Green Lantern ring or Green Lantern powers and shit?
Green Lantern.
With the whip.
That's something Lightfall.
Yeah,
Lightfall.
Yeah, they just don't know what the season's gonna be called, but that's like the DLC thing.
How much time is left in this current season?
I think like 20 something. I want to see.
Season 18 is over in 24 days.
There we go.
And then you have the Christmas stuff, seasonal thing, and then it'll be time for light time. And by that time, I hope I have $100 to put down for the motherfucker. Ooh. No whammy. Alright, what can I upgrade? Let's do you. So you're worth 3 shards. Easy 3 shards. Yeah, you're worth 3.
But are y'all excited about the DC stuff coming out soon?
What stuff coming out? I know the Damian and Superboy just had a thing come out. I haven't seen that yet.
I haven't seen that yet.
I heard it was like kind of childish, but
it wasn't the best because it was like it's doing that Dragon Ball Super where it's full CG and it's not really done the best to me personally.
I've never seen Black Adam.
That was
Yep.
See, a lot of people are really divided on that. I personally enjoyed it. I thought it was great. Oh, great too little too bad. It's probably like it's pretty mediocre.
I'll probably see it next Tuesday.
I've seen a lot of people say that it was pretty odd.
Yeah, it's not bad, but
all I'm hearing is Rock want to take over the DC. Like he gonna like run that shit.
Like
Superman. What I'm hearing now.
Basically.
Now it wasn't breath of fresh air. I ain't gonna lie, it was pretty decent. The action it was action packed. Obviously, it's a Rock movie. It could have been a really good movie if they had better writers. The writing in that movie, there were some lines that were kind of cringy.
Well, we know
Rock
that
did amazing.
It's DC, man. It's DCU. Yeah. We don't have no good writers.
But that's what kills me, though. Y'all have some of the best comic book writers ever, which I Ethan, if he was here, he'd tell me it's definitely
it makes sense, right?
But y'all have Paul Dini, Bruce Timm, and shit. Jeff Johns has worked on so many of the DC movies and shows, and they be so ass. I'm like, bro, how are you?
DC also has like the best animated stuff. I'm being honest. I would die on that hill.
Oh yeah, I give it to them animated on the animated side.
Their animated stuff is great. The only thing I'd put over their animation is like Star Wars: The Clone Wars. The only one I put over their stuff. Besides that, they king animated cartoon stuff to me when it comes to hero stuff, or honestly anything in general. But that's what's killing me with them is that because initially they stopped doing the DCEU stuff because they released like a box cassette of like the entire show. And because Netflix dropped at the same time and they had the show on Netflix, nobody actually.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So I'm like, and they canceled it. And in my head, I'm like, so you know what the main problem was when you first released it? Why are you not bringing it back? When you have
it's on Disney Plus now.
Oh yeah, now it's on Disney. Wait, what?
Yeah, all the whole Clone Wars is on Disney Plus.
Oh, not the Clone Wars. I'm talking about the animated series.
Okay.
Yeah, that though, that's amazing. That's that. Like the Clone Wars to me is the best American animation that's ever come out to me personally. Like between that and like the Last Airbender, you can kind of dictate to me and argue that, but for me, it's the Clone Wars. But I'm biased. I'm a Star Wars fan.
I haven't seen. Have you seen Andor yet? I haven't seen Andor.
No.
I watched part of it. I watched like the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, I'm about to get into it.
Apparently, it gets better. It's not at all what you would want for, I guess, a Star Wars thing possibly, because it's not the Mandalorian and it's not just related stuff. It's like a spy thriller pretty much.
Yeah.
Which I'm gonna give it another shot and try to watch it again.
Man, if it was like Rogue One, then I'd be all for it. But
you like Rogue One?
oh yeah, Rogue One was great.
I was spy. So okay, we can get into it. What did you like about Rogue One specifically?
I like how it bridges. Well, it was the first movie to bridge what happened elsewhere during the time, and I like that because there was so much other stuff going on while that shit was going on in the main story that they will never touch on. And just that part of the story was cool. And of course, Vader wasn't at the end, which was like, oh shit, yeah, that part leads to the third movie, and I was like, oh, that was cool. So I was like, all right, maybe they do that one, then maybe we might get like Thrawn or something else.
Yeah, I get that. It was just kind of boring to me. I ain't gonna lie to you. I wasn't really interested in Cassian at all. I didn't really care about old girl. What was this? Star Killer? I can't remember her name in particular.
Yeah.
Like for me personally, the most interesting thing was the end with Vader. I can't really think of too many other things I liked about the movie.
It had a good action all the way through too. For a movie that had no like lightsabers in it, except for when Donnie Chen was playing. He was nice. But I was like, all right, well, that would be the one to open up more stories. Like how that's probably the reason why one of Mando came along. There's so many other stories. Hopefully they get around to Darth Vader stories on the side. Obi-Wan Kenobi was part of that. I like that. That filled a lot of gaps.
Fair enough. I'm not.
What I really want is Dr. Aphra.
Dr. Who?
Aphra.
Where's she from?
She has her own comic book with Marvel for Star Wars. So she's like Indiana Jones of Star Wars. So she goes in like the deep Jedi temples and stuff and gets relics and a whole bunch of shit. And like she comes across like a lot of the main characters during Star Wars. And it's really funny. And she gay too, which that's also a first in there.
Is that really a big thing?
It is really great writing.
You can check it out.
Yeah, man. Dr. Aphra, I've been reading her for like last couple of years.
I can get back into
really
just
good.
Star Wars literary stuff. I've read a lot of.
That's where all the meat is, man. That's where all the meat is.
You're not wrong. Because I've read a lot of the stuff with.
The Vader series was really good too.
I read a lot of Vader stuff. I had the Star Killer books growing up. I read all of the movie novelizations for like Vader's story or whatever else. It gave you a little bit more insight of like what he was thinking at a lot of points. What else did I read? I can't remember their names in the books, but pretty much who Rey and Kylo are based off of Han and Leia's kids. I think his name was Ben Solo in that too. I can't remember what their names were in the books, but that whole thing. What I really want, you know who Abeloth is, right, Cardi?
Oh, sorry, say again.
Abeloth. Yeah. So Abeloth.
Abalon.
Abeloth. I think it's Abtolh. So essentially, so you remember the father, the son, and the daughter from like the Clone Wars, right? On the Spirit Planet. Essentially, she is like the maid or like the caretaker for the brother and the sister. And I guess she fell into this spirit well that was like the essence of the Force in the book, and she became like this force of nature, like demon type thing, where she was literally just like going across the universes or across the galaxy, just like eating shit.
Wait, how do you spell her name? I'm gonna look her up right now.
I'll tell you in a second. Hold on. Yeah, Abeloth. Her design is fucking crazy. Like she looks like a demon, like a space demon.
Oh, is she a Dark Sister?
No,
Oh.
not to my knowledge, at least. It's like in the whole book run.
Oh yeah, she looked crazy. I don't think I ever came across her.
Yeah, she's like a force sensitive entity. And she has like both dark and light side abilities because she's like the essence of the Force, pretty much. I'd love to see a movie. You could do like a horror themed like set of movies with her in it. I'd like that. That'd be cool as fuck to me personally.
Appearances. She is in all the books I did not read.
Mm-hmm. They had to like literally gather, like Luke had to gather the whole galaxy of Sith and Jedi and everybody else to like together beat her. She's a straight up demon.
Yeah, the Jedi outcasts and allies. I think I heard about that. I gotta read more, man. I haven't read a lot of comics at all this year.
Same. I bought a couple more this year, but I haven't read as many of them as I probably should have. Did you read? Tim, did you read a lot of comics, or do you read a lot in general?
I do read right now. I'm reading these Avatar books. I don't know if you guys have heard of them.
Like the Last Airbender, or like the James Cameron type?
No, it's Last Airbender, yeah, but it's like specifically on like certain avatars, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like the first two books was Kyoshi, and then the book that just dropped is Yang Chen.
Yo, ain't they trying to make her Kyoshi one?
I hope so.
I think that like, the next animated thing they were trying to do
movie
was
that
Kyoshi.
they should be doing soon on Kyoshi.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That's
That
what
would be
folks
cool.
want to see. All right, we're gonna hold on.
I don't know how accurate it is, but I saw a post on Facebook.
Yeah, but that's what I'm reading right now.
About that, they're doing like an animated movie of like the older versions of the.
Yeah, the adult gang. Yeah. But they announced that a while ago. It's just like now they just drop in like specific dates on it and stuff.
Yeah, it's like 2020.
Because that's how we found out, you know, Adele Zuko, Kyoshi,
Yeah.
and I think Aang. I'm not sure.
We all realize that Aang was like the weakest one, right?
No, he wasn't. No,
he wasn't the weakest one.
No,
He
wasn't top tier.
I want to say that. I can't even say
that.
that.
He had a late start.
He wasn't low tier either. He really wasn't.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because the thing is, like, you got to think about it. Like, he's literally a natural
what
when it
canon
comes
is
to airbending.
Natural gift, yeah.
And then he mastered blind earthbending, and then like he has some of the most broken techniques. He's just not as good as. I don't think he's as good as Core as far as like the raw fighting ability, but I think when people try to up Core, they try to down him so much because he's like, at least in a lot of people's minds, the quintessential one.
I'm gonna need a ranking. I don't need an official canon ranking.
Yeah, I haven't read as much on the rest of them to know like the power skill any of them correctly.
Okay, well, he's not low tier. He's not compared to, you know, some other avatars.
Okay. Go ahead.
Aang lived to a pretty decent age, I believe. I want to say.
Yeah, he got old.
He got pretty old, yeah.
Yeah. He got old, and you know, some avatars ain't even make it. You know, past.
Right.
Well, one avatar specifically did not make it past 30, 25.
You gotta think about it. All the
that?
crazy shit he did at like what, 13, 14?
Young, yeah, it was.
It was 12, I believe.
12?
Yeah,
But he
he
did
was
more than most
extremely young.
Avatars.
Yeah.
I don't know how many avatars actually had to fight in a war though.
I want to
Kiyoshi's the only one I can
say,
think of.
Yeah, no,
yeah,
Kyoshi
Kyoshi, Yang Chen, Kruk, I kind of want to say, but his war was a little bit different because it was like spirits, you know?
Oh yeah, that's
He
when he was
had to,
pulling
you
that third
know,
one,
try to
right?
clean up behind Yang Chen's, you know, bullshit he pulled. So I kind of want to, I always say, like, you know, that's why I think he lived like such a young life. He had like so much to try to like clean up, and it was bad.
What's up, girl?
So,
Yeah, that's why I give
was-
Aang a lot of slack for that.
but to me, he was like that one. There was the weakest Avatar, in my opinion.
Just talking about comics and
How is that match incomplete and they booted me?
now Avatar and just current events. I guess you know Gallagher passed away too today.
Who?
Gallagher, the comic, the guy who was like smashing like watermelons on stage and stuff.
Doing what?
Smashing watermelons. Remember that Dave Chappelle skit when he was like, "Want me to smash some fruit?"
No. Smashing? You said smashing a windmill?
Fruits like watermelons.
Oh shit!
Yeah, remember that Dave Chappelle episode?
I don't remember that one. No.
Oh, and he's like, you know what? I ain't gonna smash no fruit because I ain't gonna no punk bitch. He starts shooting a fucking watermelon.
Jesus Christ!
And he shot somebody in the crowd. Anyway, that guy, he was based on that one, that comedian. He passed away today.
Oh shit!
Yeah, he was very unorthodox. He was just like have a big ass mullet like Harley Quinn, and just like smash fruit on stage.
That seems like some dumber type like slapstick comedy.
Yeah.
That's so bad. Sucks.
That's tough. That is tough. I don't know if it's because there are so many more famous people, but it seems like a lot of celebrities have been dying like recently.
I feel like every year it just gets worse.
Like,
Yeah, man. Our folks are getting older. Like people that we looked up to growing as a kid, they were already grown. So it's like
I mean, not even the older, some of the young ones too.
yeah,
It's really bad.
we don't even want to get into rappers dying like that. That'd be a whole different
Yeah,
thing.
that's
Like,
that's exactly what I was thinking about. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
But man, it's what's hot right now in these streets apparently. I don't know why. But
that's just scary, dog. Because like half of them be like are close to my age, and I'm like, I'm not old by any means. I'm like, bro, I just started. Like, if you're telling me if I die right now, I'm gonna be so pissed. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
But man, you better make sure you got a life insurance policy, especially if you're in Philly.
Shit, I can barely afford insurance to begin with.
Yeah, real out here.
I'm gonna need people to chill out.
It is. It's getting too real out here. That's the thing.
No, you coming?
Damn, I know it's in his sight. We got like a couple on B.
You die. Ah, trade.
Are you seeing the lag or is it just me?
I'm pretty steady right now.
No, not you. This
no?
news ascended person.
I haven't come across him yet.
Okay, because it's glitch central. I don't know if it's just me or this kid is lagged. Why is he shooting the wall? What's up with this kid?
Why are you shooting the wall? Oh, you bitch. Why are you run?
Behind us.
Cut the corner.
Y'all big in music at all?
Yeah, not
I'm
lately.
big in
Like, I think we talked about last week. Like, I got tired of rappers.
Yo, dude, all they're using is Celeste.
Yeah.
I just ran into like 3 people.
Well, even outside of rap, are you listen to like a lot of R&B or any other genres of music?
No, I mean I did listen to more 21 Savage, and I still stand by my answer. That's just trash.
This is the album that you listen to?
Yeah, I listened to some more music, and it's trash. I didn't care for it.
Fair enough. It ain't for everybody.
Yeah, just ain't what it used to be. I'm just old school.
I can't say that. I
can definitely say that.
I've talked about this with Ethan a lot when it comes to music. Back then, obviously, there was very fewer artists, especially artists that he would consider good. But I think what happens is there's just so much more opportunity to where, same thing with like streaming or any kind of like IP.
Wow.
There's so much more of it. You just have to actually put an effort to find it. Because back in the day, labels are shoveling people in front of you to listen to it. Like, hey, Vanilla Ice, the next dude out, we're gonna push him hella hard. You gonna listen to this? Like, you gonna hear this? You gonna hear this Vanilla Ice? There's no decision in it. Versus nowadays, you can have again like a Chance the Rapper. He can put his stuff on SoundCloud, and you can never hear of him, and then he can have his own cult following because people can actually find him. You just have to find what you like.
Yeah, I guess. But then again, there's nothing like word of mouth. Like,
Exactly.
that's how it was done back in the day. And if you were hot, folks really into hip hop, you get through. It was never
Word of
a
mouth
problem.
still happens nowadays, but the thing with word of mouth now is definitely separated by age. Like, you can have word of mouth pop off, and people at a certain age group all know about this person that like this person. But if you're older and you're not around a lot of younger people, you're never gonna hear that person, and vice versa.
Yeah, I mean, even that, like, where's your mixtape at? Like
that was
hey, you gotta hear this mixtape, or they'll play you on like a radio, I guess, or like that.
So do you like Ari Lennox or JID?
I heard of JID. He has some good beats actually. I don't know who his beat person is.
Christo, I'm pretty sure. Saying he did a lot of work with Cole too. Like art, like a lot of those, like a lot of artists like them, like they're getting into the game in like their late 20s and early 30s because they couldn't it took them getting that right opportunity to get through.
All right.
All I'm saying is, all your rappers today, no matter how old they are, if you go back to like your other rappers at the same age, at the same like, who was better lyrically, and it looks like the older generation has it.
What is your criteria for that though?
Style, the style, their flow, delivery, wordplay, actual stats.
Well, with that being the case, like a lot of those older artists that you give that credit to, a lot of them vouch and give credit to younger artists, saying that they're just not better. Eminem being the main one, like he'll put on a lot of people, and then he was put on by who? Dre, different people like that. And that's my thing. I'm like, if the old heads that people are praising,
folks will read. Like, I don't think these rappers read anything like no more. Like, I don't think they sit down and actually go through a thesaurus, find words, like play word plays. Like, they don't do that shit anymore. And that's the whole point of like rap.
Okay,
like,
let's keep it
no originality anymore.
First off, that to me is not accurate in a lot of senses. But first off, how many rappers you were actually going through a thesaurus to actually in a dictionary to pick out words to write down?
All the old school rappers, like Jay-Z, DMX, Run DMC, Rakim, definitely Rakim.
We went through
Special
like
Ed.
different generations of rappers right there. We went from Run DMC to like DMX.
From '90s, like they're all the same, around all the same age. So no matter what year or period it was in, they're still around at the same time. Like they grew up rapping together at lunch tables. Like
DMX.
Oh my god.
I think so.
But
the thing is, again, like it was a renaissance. Like everyone knew each other, so it's not like people grew up together. Like the fucking Tribe, like they grew up with Biz Markie, and like they all went to the same school together.
Most of these
artists, the rhymes, like it was
most of these artists, what they're doing, they're letting melody and whatever comes to their head guide how they rap. Like they're tuning and they're putting whatever is in their head comes out.
I don't know. They need to stop doing
That's
that.
That's how you get that. That's not today. Back then. That's how rappers back then did stuff. You know how many stories you heard of Biggie coming into a room and not writing nothing down? He just whatever.
Off the top of the head too. Yeah,
exactly. That's the whole purpose of it. That's why I'm saying like a lot of rappers back then weren't reading books back then to do that.
I mean, rappers right now can't fucking do that.
They can.
They can't. I mean, you can see them. I mean, I've seen folks. I've seen the clips. They'll spit something real quick, and they'll just be like, "I ain't got nothing," or they'll do some whack ass shit.
It's not written.
Or they have something written down on the side, like.
So what most rappers back then did too. You do know most of the rappers back then weren't coming off the top of the head. There's like a couple of them, but most rappers in general.
Oh yeah, not all of them, but most of the good ones you know because you like seen them. Like you saw them on the subway rapping. Like
when they were growing up, when out in the studio with cameras on them, they weren't doing that then.
Yeah, they were.
Give me some names, please, because I can go. I guarantee you, I've either seen the interview or looked stuff up of people that are credible that will say them dudes were not freestyling off the top of their head.
Okay. Fabulous.
Okay, I'll give you
Jay-Z.
Maybe.
Busta. Fife. There's really a lot of people in my head. I just really can't slow down and think of them all while I'm playing.
That's fine.
Thing is, you know when you hear it though.
Yeah.
Like you know it when you hear it when they start spitting. Like you know it. Like King Los. Like, I was listening to him lately.
Yeah, Los.
Like you can hear like, hey, he knows. Like he's thinking ahead and know what he's doing while he rapping. Like you look at anybody else in the studio rapping and like, what the fuck is this garbage?
Yeah,
like
you got my
trash.
We got my boy Con-Man in here. What up, Craig?
Need that.
Wrong room? You in the wrong room? No? Okay, cool.
No more ad libs. Stop with the ad libs. Stop with the skirts and the skeets and the 21. Stop.
The thing that's killing me,
stop.
All the stuff you're talking about, people of your generation and beforehand started that. Like they were doing it.
Oh, all right. Start naming folks.
Ad libs? First off,
not like how it is now. Like half the song is ad libs. Like, come on. Like you got 16 bars and like 8 of your bars is just like, yeah.
I think all the music you listen to is on SoundCloud. It sounds like you're listening to all your music from one.
I don't even listen to SoundCloud. I don't even have SoundCloud on my phone.
Where do you listen to younger artists? Who when you listen to a younger artist, how do you come to that? You just find that, or is somebody recommending that to you?
Usually I come across them like if it's something hot, like I usually get it off of social media. So if something starts buzzing, like a good freestyle or something like that, like LA Leakers or something like that. I'm like, okay. So clearly they're good enough to get to this plateau where they can be, shared and liked and stuff like that.
So you've heard LA Leaker freestyles, but you haven't heard like the JIDs, Cordays.
I heard of Corday. Yeah, I know Corday.
He
has a couple of good.
Joey Badasses. All these dudes.
Joey Badass is a great freestylist.
Yeah, he's young as hell. I'm pretty sure
he's a great freestylist. But you don't hear him. Skirt.
Yeah.
Like he has wordplay. Like no one has wordplay anymore.
I just named 4
There's no
artists.
Pseudonyms. There's no entendres. They just ain't nothing.
Cardi, I just named 4 different artists that you admitted were good and do that thing. Those are 4 alone, and I could have kept going. Especially just LA Leakers again. Just alone, LA Leakers alone, I can get into a bunch of other artists. Those are 4.
Then, like I said, send them my way. I'll listen to them. They're freestyling. I'll be able to tell they're actually freestyling.
Just those 4, just JID, Corday, and Joey. Just them 4.
Well, I can let you know now that they're good artists and they can actually rap.
And they're young artists. So that's my point. Is you're letting the few dictate the masses. Is my point. Like if I would have judged,
they're not part of the masses though.
Yeah, they are.
Not really.
They one, they're up and coming artists, and 2, they're like JID alone.
They're not up and coming artists. They've been out for a minute. Like Joey Badass been out for like 8 years.
he's had mixtapes and stuff come out, but he didn't get on until recently.
That's fine, but that's what I'm talking about. Like mixtapes is like that's what I'm talking about.
Going back to that point you said earlier about them growing up and making music with each other, a lot like especially JID specifically, like he grew up in Atlanta around all these dudes. Like him and 21 Savage are like damn near the same age. I think 21's like 3 years older than him. They all grew up performing at the same venues, got put on by the same people. Like they're all in that same generation of artists.
21 ass. Its styles are totally different, and one's totally.
Their styles are different, but like you said, the same. They're all in that same generation. And that's
you're gonna have folks that stand above the rest, but the folks that are being put on the most ain't really good though.
I can't even say that. Well, I agree with you.
If they're not good, then please send them my way because I would love some new music to listen to.
What are you about to say, Tim?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, my bad. No, I will agree with you to an extent. The popular media apps like Instagram, TikTok, things like that, they're a younger audience and they're going to promote younger people. They're not going to promote like stuff like that.
And that's a problem. They're promoting the wrong people.
But that's like I'm assuming the music you listen to when you were 19 isn't the same music you listen to now.
It kind of is. I just gotta go back because it ain't good. Like whatever I'm hearing right now.
So was you fucking with like the Humpty dance at like 14, 15?
That was a little bit before my time, but when I heard it, hell yeah.
So you'll bump the Humpty dance right now. And that's the most fire shit ever.
Yo, that shit was banging, yo. You just had to be there. I remember my sister doing that dance when that joint came out.
That damn.
You might call it now, but that joint fire.
All I'm saying is, when it comes to a lot of younger artists, if I were to judge the entire 90s off of Vanilla Ice, and I look to the bottom of the barrel and judge that whole decade off the bottom of the barrel, it's gonna look.
You're
bad.
Picking one white boy, so like.
Yeah, you would just pick 21 Savage and like 2 other people out of the 4 I just gave you.
No, there's more whack ass rappers out there.
And I could go back and name more whack ass rappers from back then too. I can go back to fucking what's Buddy's name from fucking Louisiana? Silk the Shocker.
Silk the Shocker was a horrible rapper, but he had flow.
Oh, okay. So you see how you're giving him some more leeway, right? Even though you admitted
Silk the Shocker was a horrible rapper. Like he had like maybe 3 hit singles.
But you said
he wasn't good, but he had flow and he had Master P on his side. I mean, you had Master P, you got the juice.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like 21 Savage, he's probably a
21 Savage guy. You got
flow, exact flow for sure. He does
not have a flow.
Yes,
you can't be like, no, he don't have a fucking flow.
But that's my thing. I'm not saying you have to like Buddy, but I'm just saying like this. Like I gave you 2 horrible rappers from your era, and you either gave them slack or admitted like, oh, you're picking one bad apple out of the bunch. I'm just saying give that same treatment to the newer era. Like listen to the top of the top and don't judge them.
Who is the top of the top? Because I listen to 21, so he's
the 4. Okay, the 4 I just gave you. Corday,
JID, Corday. I mean, Corday been out for a minute.
Corday just got his second project out this past year. Dude is like
he had a hit single like 3-4 years ago. It was real good.
Dude, Corday's younger than me, I think. He's like 21, 22. He's like early 20s.
Yeah, like I said, I'll give him. I mean, I haven't heard everything of him, but yeah, he's good. But like I said, I was listening to Coda the Friend. He's like his wordplay is good. He actually puts work and time. You can hear that he puts time into his craft.
Yeah, bro, listen.
I don't hear that when I'm listening to like 21.
I'm like at this point, I'm not even mad at you for not liking 21 because he's a very
I guess niche. I don't know. I just think he's just hot because he's just hot.
He's an acquired taste. I put it like that. Like a lot of people from the South and from a certain age group really like him for a certain reason. I will admit he became a better rapper from back then, but I can see why a lot of people wouldn't like him for whatever reason.
All right. Well, yeah. I have those 4 down. Like I said, I already heard of those 4. So give me somebody new I haven't heard of, and then I can give him a shot.
Let's go to my Spotify real quick. I got a list.
Again, like rest in peace, Takeoff, but I can't stand Migos. They're horrible rappers.
Some of this stuff is kind of
and that's the thing. Like they're horrible rappers.
What did you say about flow earlier? Now you're not gonna tell me the Migos don't have flow. You're not gonna tell me that.
I mean, they got catchy stuff.
I wouldn't say it flow, not like 3-4 syllables and then ad lib something. That's not really flow.
You're judging that off of off of a few songs, though. What I'm saying.
No, their whole thing's been like that.
It's not, man. I know it's you telling me, and I've listened to a majority of I listen to old stuff from going back to everybody through the 90s. I listen to music from here back to like the 20s, and I listen to a lot of them. All their stuff isn't like that, for a fact. I can say that for an actual fact.
Like 2 Chainz, I hate 2 Chainz is a horrible rapper. There's another person I can't stand.
He's calling me at this point when it comes to Atlanta rap. We're not about to do that.
Hey, there's people out. If it ain't Outkast or Ludacris or who else is from Atlanta? UGK, not a UGK. The Underground Family,
the Dungeon Family.
Yeah, the Dungeon Family. Like, if it ain't them, like I ain't T.I. Other than that, I ain't effing with nobody else from Atlanta. 2 Chainz is a horrible rapper. Like, he'll put the dumbest shit together, and it doesn't make sense. It's not coherent.
Okay.
I'm just like,
I'm gonna judge all that. Okay.
Why?
How good of a rapper do you say ODB is?
ODB is an average below average rapper, but what he had for him was an unattainable flow. Let me finish. You can say someone's bad, but they can have high points. But when I think of 2 Chainz, he doesn't have a high point. He's just a bad rapper all the way together. Baby Keem's fire too. He's a good ass rapper.
Him and 21 are damn near the same person, except he's a high pitched voice. They rap damn. They have the same type of bars. And you talk about putting shit together that's like wild and incoherent.
No, Baby Keem has actually better wordplay than 21 Savage. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can say that. Yeah, he does. So he's above.
He has better wordplay.
Yeah, he has a better wordplay than him. So by default, he's automatically better. But you can, like I said, you can be a bad rapper, but you can have other elements that make you a great performer.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm talking about. ODB, like, he wasn't the greatest rapper on Wu-Tang, but the nigga had undeniable flow, and his style was, like I said, he had no father to his style, so he's in a class of his own. But lyrically wise, no, he wasn't better than Meth. He wasn't better than Red. He wasn't better than Ghostface. But he brought something that's totally different.
And my point being, you don't have longevity in music if you're not excellent at something when it comes to that. You can't be trash all around and then be relevant and make hits like a decade plus in. 2 Chainz has been,
and that's why most of these rappers won't be relevant in 10 years.
2 Chainz has been out for like a decade plus now, almost.
So 2 Chainz has been out since the 90s.
Exactly.
But he ain't get hot till 2012, when he was something boy.
So since 20, you say he got put on at 2012, right?
Yeah, he didn't come hot till he was like 41. He been rapping since the early 90s.
And it's 2022 now, so a decade. He's been hot.
He was trash then. That's what I'm saying. He changed his persona around, and he got hot in Atlanta, but that doesn't make him a good rapper. He was still the same bum ass nigga he was before then.
It's all about catchy stuff.
Yeah, it's all about catchy shit.
That's what makes you basically go far now. Big
Sean is an amazing fucking rapper and a freestylist.
I think I agree with that. I'm not even gonna lie.
I love Big Sean.
Big Sean can almost take out anybody.
But being catchy and being relevant, is that not being good at something when it comes to music?
No,
it's different. It's different.
If that was the case, everybody do it then, right?
You're right. Yeah, anyone can do it, and that's the thing. If it's catchy enough, you can do it, but it doesn't make it valid. Yep. That don't give you any street cred. Like, that's not cool, and that's what folks are forgetting now. Young folks don't know any fucking better. That shit ain't gonna fly.
Why fly where? The hood?
Yeah, it ain't gonna fly anywhere.
my point being, if it's not easy and everybody can't do it, because if everybody could do it, then everybody would be be a successful rapper. I'll put it like that. Everybody be a successful rapper. Not everybody's a successful rapper.
Well, not everyone's a successful rapper, but there's some quality that you gotta have, and it's all based on algorithm nowadays. It ain't about pure raw talent anymore.
It's not.
So when would you say
it's
the
about who got the fame? You know, like the it factor.
Whatever the fucking the ages from 12 to 26 white audiences is, because it's the white people that are paying for the music. The white people are paying for the shows. Like, it's about money at the end of the day, and some shit just don't sell like it used to anymore. Right. So why would you pump something out that don't sell as much?
Okay, well, my question be, what about NWA? Did they have good rappers, and did they have that catchy quality?
Yeah, because they first of all they had a trend, they had a style, you know, niggas with attitude, which was a big thing, but also Q was a fucking beast of a rapper. Like, Q was crazy, but I mean, everyone know Eazy-E didn't write shit, and when he tried to, it didn't come out right. So but thing is, he had the cred, and he was going off of, you know, hey, I got bodies in the real street. People know me. I'm about that life, and he just rapped about that, and that worked out.
So that being said, you do realize
that's kind of talent. That's talent, though.
But majority of their money and their success came from white people paying for their concert tickets, paying for their music.
Actually, no, that was everybody. That was everybody.
If I go look at a video of an NWA concert right now,
and it's different now.
White piece of paper.
I mean, you got to think about inflation and everything now. Like, honestly, would you pay $200 to go see NWA?
Yeah, but look, I'm not even talking about inflation rates or anything stuff right now. You talking about, you said from 2012 till now is when that stuff started. I'm saying it's always been like that. Even back in the NWA days, white people put money into rap. That's what they like. They did that. White people
and so did black people.
Oh, we were too, but majority
because we the ones that started it before it got hot. So
we started it, but
we was already lifting them up.
Yeah, we did. We didn't put the money in their pockets though.
Oh yeah, they were selling. They were moving tapes. You kidding me?
They're moving tapes, but not enough for them to be rich and be moguls like they are now.
They were. If you look at the concerts, like when they did the concert in Detroit, when they had a riot, it was mostly black folks in there.
So you're telling me, if they're selling out a stadium, it's going to be a lot of black people in that stadium buying those tickets, supporting them, buying that merch.
Back then, yeah, it was.
Stop.
It's not the same now.
Cardi, you capping to me right now, Cardi.
Yo, have you ever been to Powerhouse?
No, I haven't. I haven't been.
Okay, so there's a big rap concert every year that happens in Philly called Powerhouse. So it has all the hottest rappers and artists at the time.
Oh my God! No.
So back in the day, it used to be all black people.
Right.
All black people. Now, if you go, it's literally super mixed there right now. It's fucking washed out.
What would you say is the maximum capacity of Powerhouse? Just roughly.
Right now, Powerhouse hasn't been the same since the 90s. It don't even hit no more.
In the 90s, how would you say the maximum capacity would be?
Oh, it's sold out. You couldn't get fucking tickets.
No, how many people do you think it could fit in there to buy tickets?
Powerhouse, the Wells Fargo Center at the time held about 40,000 people.
So, if a rapper like, let's say, a Kendrick Lamar is selling out a football stadium where it's 100,000 plus people in that football stadium, and it's majority of white people in there, are you going to say that
they are majority of white people in there?
So that's what I'm saying. Are you telling me that $40,000 amount of people in that capacity?
Because black folks listen to Kendrick Lamar more than they do other people.
Which is I'm not even talking. At this point, we're talking about white people. We're talking about
this is right demographic. Like demographically, yeah, we're going to have to pull the data on it. But I promise you that there are going to be more folks, more white folks watching dumbass rappers than it is than actual lyricists.
No, they're watching lyricists just the same amount, just different ages, different demographics of white people. Yeah. There are multiple demographics within white people. Same way there's multiple demographics between.
I gotta back up because
I'm not quite sure about that because I did hit the J. Cole concert and it was sold out and it was mostly black people.
Did you hit an NBA YoungBoy concert?
No.
Have you hit an Uzi concert?
Because NBA YoungBoy is also
okay.
Whatever I heard, he was a bad rapper too.
Yeah, I ain't really listening
Well,
to that. But what I'm
But
saying
I'm pretty
is
sure there's gonna be more white people at an NBA YoungBoy concert than it would be a
freaking hammer.
J. Cole concert. I'll put money on that.
Sam, well, you gonna lose
If you can pull the data on that, I bet you there's gonna be more white people that play for those tickets.
I'm gonna do this research throughout the next week. I'm gonna come back with
Let me know. But I feel pretty confident in that.
What I'm saying is it's white people, but there's different demographics to white people. You as a black man, you're not gonna listen to the same music that a 19-year-old black boy would listen to. He's listening to NBA YoungBoy. You're probably listening to Cole, Kendrick, the older rappers like that. They do what you do. They do what you like.
Well, how old is NBA YoungBoy? I'm assuming he's YoungBoy, so he's still
like
young.
18, 19, something like that, 20, something like that. But young.
That's the one that has all the kids?
Yes, he's one of all the kids.
But then again, like if you look at 18, 19 and look at the other artists at the same age, like they weren't spitting the same. Like that's my whole entire point I'm trying to make.
My point being with that one, you talked about earlier we named out 4 rappers, just 4 alone off the top of my head. Granted, I'll give you the pass on JID because JID he got put on older. He's 27. Granted, I argue he's been that good since he was 18, 19, but he didn't get put on and start pursuing rap until he was like later in his 20s. But the Cordae, the Joey Badasses, dudes that are young, they've been out and you said they've been out for a minute. They were that good when they were younger.
Yeah, they were that good. And that's what I'm saying. Folks that were that good younger.
And there's a lot of those.
That's the bottom line is if you can rap, you can rap. I mean, yeah, you can get better over time, but if you had it when you were younger, then you had it.
And that's my point. My point being,
but man, if you start, not even if you get noticed later on in your career, like Tyler Creator, I was a Tyler Creator from day one since he was like 16. Mm-hmm. Like before he even got put on, I was on to him because he had a crazy ass flow, crazy ass style, and his aesthetic was good. Like no one was doing what he was doing, let alone he did it by himself.
Right.
Like I was going to Tyler Creator concerts in basements of churches. When he was just saying fuck God and shit, like it was fucking crazy. Now he's selling out fucking Wells Fargo Center. He's selling out stadiums all over the place. But
and you do know he's making music for all these young artists and
he's doing young artists. He's doing that too. But the point was that he had everything he needed to be a successful rapper back then.
The Creator, he's 31 now. So him, 21, all those dudes are around the same age. So that's another person of this generation of rap that you gave credit to. So now that's 5 people alone that we've talked about that you said you liked and giving credit to.
But they're not the same people. Yeah, and Tyler Crowd was definitely white people. He had rager music. Yeah, it was raging music.
Even then,
raging rap actually.
You just acknowledge how good he was since he was 16. My point being, he's again a part of this crowd. You have to look for the younger artists nowadays that you think are good. You can't just typecast them all based off of the NBA YoungBoys and 21 Savage that you see.
But that's the thing. That's what the people are getting the most play.
Yeah, because it's radio play. It's not the people. Radio play back in the day wasn't black folks giving them radio play back then. It was the label.
I mean, that's what gets played out because the fucking algorithm and fucking sales. But
that was what
still doesn't. Right? But that you don't see how that dilutes the music as a whole. It dilutes the culture.
Does it? If the culture's not checking for it, does it? Because back in the day, people were passing out mixtapes, correct? And there were DJs putting out mixtapes of their top rappers of whatever city they were in and putting people on. And black people bought those, and that's what was hot. Black people were not listening to radios all day, listening for the hottest rappers. They were going to DJ Drama, going to DJ Screw for these mixtapes for all these top rappers on them.
Yeah, when they were on the radio, like Friday night, 8 o'clock, you know what you had to turn into to hear who was hot in the city or who had something new out. That's how you knew.
Were they spending money on the radio or were they spending money on these mixtapes?
Well, it's black people. Everybody try to get shit for free.
They try to, but they put.
I mean, I remember recording stuff off the radio.
Yeah. Even then,
I'm that old.
Even then, majority of that money that them DJs were making were from selling the mixtapes.
Yeah, I remember buying stuff out of people's trunks too.
Exactly. So that's
that's the thing. Like, if you have the heat, you have the heat. But if someone gives you a platform and you don't have the heat and people act like you do, then you garbage because it's fake.
My question is, does it matter if the platform that you're getting put on, if it's something that the culture is not checking for?
Yeah, he did. Tyler Creator did switch his style after he won some Grammys. He's on some other crazy shit now. Not as big of a fan as I used to be. I think after what was it Flower Boy or whatever that album was, it kind of went
I
downhill.
like Flower Boy.
That was a great album.
I thought
Flower Child, yeah,
Flower
Flower Child.
yeah.
That was a great
I thought
album.
The newer one he did was I wasn't the biggest fan of it either.
Yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan. It wasn't what I was used to because I'm used to like the fucking Bastard. I know every single word. I know all the mixtapes. Well, Earl fucking Sweatshirt was supposed to be our new Nas, and that never came through.
Man, let's look at how old Earl Sweatshirt is.
I never listened to him. I did watch that show though, that Loiter Squad.
Earl had fucking bars.
Earl Sweatshirt is 28 years old.
Yeah, and he started rapping. He was like 14.
Again, these are more young rappers that you're giving credit to that are all within the same generation that you hating on. That's like
not
what?
That's not. No, you're confusing what I'm saying.
What are you saying? Please elaborate.
So what I'm saying is, I'm not saying everybody, not all the rappers. I can't put everyone in a box. I'm not trying to, but most of the most popular rappers out here aren't as good as the same age as they were back then. So whoever is hot right now that is young, lyrically, flow wise, everything else doesn't compare to most of the rappers back then at the same prime of their age.
Okay. So
it's totally different. It might be different era, but flow is flow, style is style, words are words. Words haven't changed.
Right. So just to make sure I'm understanding you right. Your point is young rappers now versus young rappers then, they were better than younger, right?
The younger rappers back then are better than the younger rappers that are right now.
Okay. So if I look let's who would you say is the best rapper from back then? Just give me like off the top of your head, who's the best rapper back then, like the 90s? Jay.
As far as what? Like what kind?
Anything.
Because you can go like off Cell, like you can go LL because LL was a crazy rapper and he could freestyle. But then you can go even harder and say Big L, like some really hardcore rapper.
Who are you listening to when you thought they had the best of everything, the best lyricism, the best production, performance, all that stuff in the one?
Ooh,
from that era. Or just who are you listening to the most?
So it was Tribe. It was mostly Tribe in the early 90s. And then it switched from Tribe to, I would say, around Jay-Z, DMX.
Oh, so is Jay-Z final up to say? Jay-Z?
Yeah, Jay-Z, DMX.
Okay.
Big Pun.
Used to love DMX,
man. You couldn't. A lot of people couldn't even beat Big Pun in a freestyle battle. Then you have some Philly greats in there. Everybody was playing Reed Dollars and all that shit. I mean, horrible. He can't make a trap for shit, but he can battle. He's a battle rapper. So
1 week up there.
Okay. I haven't killed a single person in this whole match. There you go. He was young as shit. Of course, I never found Meek to be that good when he was younger. He's a lot better now.
I liked his stuff when he was younger. I
Cassidy,
don't really like him much.
You couldn't beat Cassidy in the battle. You can put like money on it. You couldn't touch him. Like all these rappers, their tenacity, the levels don't match. It's not even close.
Okay, so we're getting these younger artists. So, what would you say is Jay-Z's best album to you? Is it Hard Knock Life?
It's
the most successful one monetarily, where he's made the most money. And he did that when he was older. Blueprint?
It was a Blueprint.
Let's see when Blueprint came out.
Blueprint came out 2001. No.
2001. So after 90 when he was older, right?
Well, Jay-Z's always been old though. Jay-Z's like 50 now.
But you said when he was younger, he was nice.
His flow was different. His flow was different. And look on YouTube, look at Jay-Z rapping in the 80s. It's totally different than what his style is now.
So is it easy to say that you gave him time to progress and become a better artist when he got older?
He got better, but he was still good though. Like he could actually rap.
You're judging Jay-Z in your mind, him in his prime when he's older. You're judging these younger artists right now when they're still young and fresh. You see where that's kind of not
No,
fair?
no. I think you're missing the point again. It don't matter if they're younger or not. They're trash or trash. If you don't have the lyrical capabilities, of course you can grow on. Of course you can grow on and get better. But if you don't have a solid high tier baseline, then you're not going to go anywhere.
You just told me that Jay-Z in the 80s.
Game is also a crazy good ass rapper too. He still is.
I don't know about that. The last shit he dropped trying to diss Eminem didn't sound too hot.
Nah, I didn't. It
No,
didn't.
it wasn't hot.
That shit was boo-boo. That was boo-boo.
It sounded forced and it wasn't better. But fucking 1,200 bars of running. You can go ahead and play that. Nigga rap for fucking 12 minutes straight.
Right,
Not a lot of rappers can do that. A lot of rappers today can't even rap 3 minutes straight.
Not so many back then could either.
No, that's debatable.
Most rappers were writing back then. They weren't freestyling going on. They were writing their short songs. Or there was a lot of collaborations going on. Well, there's a lot of collabs going on now, but
there's more collabs now than ever.
The formula back then.
You can't put out a song without having someone on it right now, and that's another thing I like about the past. Because you can be by yourself and not have features. Features didn't really pop off till like fucking 2000s, early 2000s.
So are you saying features are a detriment to hip hop then, or rap music in general?
It's more like a handicap assist.
How's that? Okay, so
like, hey, you like whoever, like, hey, you might be a trash ass artist. I forget who it was a bum, but they got like Nicki Minaj on the song. And I say, no, hey, it's number one because you got Nicki on the song, or you got Wayne. That's how Wayne got hot really fast. Wayne always been good, but when he started doing features for people, that's how everyone got up.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I need Wayne on the track, or my shit ain't gonna be hot. And Wayne been rapping since he was 10.
So the same shit, same thing 2 Chainz did there?
But the thing is, 2 Chainz never been good. 2 Chainz was never a lyricist.
I'm not saying he is a lyricist. When it comes to him, I'm not saying he was a lyricist. But you can't tell me every hot rapper in the 90s was a lyricist. There's like 5 to 6.
Mainly, yes, because that was the way to go. That's what you needed to do.
You're not about to tell me that everybody was not a lyricist back then. Now you give everybody credit for being a lyricist just because they were putting together 2 bars.
That was the formula back in the day. So, because everyone who's growing up listened to Curtis Blow, everyone in the late 70s going into the 80s, there was a formula. Hey, you had to write your shit out. You had to make sure your shit was hot and rhyme all that wordplay all together before you go ahead and make a song. There was a formula. Folks ain't making no formula nowadays. They're not practicing.
There's a formula. There's a different
their craft.
So my
that's why most of the rappers back in the day could actually rap and do things by themselves because they had to learn how to do that shit. No one's doing that anymore.
Okay, so we say everybody back then was lyricist, right?
Yes. Mostly all the greatest rappers, not even half. I would say half of the okay rappers above actually put in time on their crafts.
Somebody just start
because there was a popular formula that you had to follow.
Somebody start putting out names. You gonna tell me if all these rappers were lyricists? And again, so before we do this, what is your criteria for a lyricist? What is a lyricist to you?
Lyricist is actually wordplay. So the words, how they flow together.
Is there objective criteria you can give me as far as like 16 bars or?
Well, 16 is a standard, but it also comes down to the style of rapper that they are because every style is different.
Okay. So I'm gonna
start. Some rap fast, some rap slow, some rap in between. But at the end of the day, they have a beginning, a middle, and an end, and they're not fucking repeating themselves.
Okay, so
and most songs in the '90s there were stories too. You're not getting stories in your raps anymore.
Let's not do that.
You rapping about cars, clothes, and hoes, and that's it.
That's factually incorrect. Again, just the rappers we named along earlier that you talked about.
Again, I'm talking about these the new NBA young boys and all them hot songs you hear on the most popular on TikTok and all them other shit. There's no fucking songs. There's no story to them.
Okay.
No stories to them.
Okay,
they ain't no Brenda Got a Baby anymore. I'm like, if you're going to hear that, you're going to hear it from Cole or Kendrick or
Brenda Had
Sean.
a Baby. Would you say that was the hottest song on that album? Or how often did you hear Brenda Got a Baby on radio play?
Actually quite a bit.
Damn.
back in the day. It was quite a
Don't cap me, Cardi.
No,
I'm not gonna tell you
this shit
lies.
got
I was around back
you
then,
still
so I
hear it
can't
now
say.
on the radio.
You said what?
You still hear it now on the radio.
We hear it now because he's dead, and they're like he's Tupac. He's a legend now.
Not even that. Even before he was dead, like you still hear it.
You telling me Brenda had a baby? Okay, Kendrick Black said King Von was a storyteller. I can't attest to that as much because I didn't listen to King Von before he passed away.
Well,
You said, hey, Bow Wow was a lyricist?
Bow Wow was a lyricist. No, actually,
Bow Wow had catchy stuff. He had
Bow Wow
catchy
had
stuff.
Bow Wow had
catchy stuff.
Bow Wow had Dupree, and Dupree was known for making hits with folks.
Yes.
So
No, Bow Wow was not a true lyricist.
was
No,
DMX
he wasn't.
Or he would have been still hot today.
was DMX
That's a gift.
DMX a lyricist?
Yes,
I think so. Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
100%.
I agree. Yes. 100. Yeah, I do.
Okay. Well, hey, I'm not gonna fight you on that one. If you think he was. I can't attest to that too much.
I feel like
you don't think DMX was a lyricist?
He put a lot of his
No.
like real
Bro.
life into that.
I think he was
music.
I think he was a great rapper, but I wouldn't consider him a lyricist. No.
Wow.
DMX
okay.
is a fucking lyricist.
I feel like we
I
must
mean,
be old then, dude. Like,
Not even.
I
old,
guess so.
If I'm comparing
I-
him to the people in his
we
class,
old.
just comparing him to the people in his class,
he could
I'm-
freestyle and he could write.
He's one of my tops in that class.
He was a storyteller too.
Yes.
If I'm
yes,
looking
he
at him
was.
the same way I'm looking at Jay and Nas and the great lyricists of that time frame, he's just not an amazing lyricist to me. No, he's an amazing rapper, but he's not a lyricist to me.
No, he's a
Yeah, I
lyricist. Go
I
back
can't. Yeah,
and listen. He's a lyricist.
I don't agree with that.
That's because it's a lot
I
louder
reckon-
and he raps in a different type of tone.
It is
It's-
the different
it's
tone.
so-
Like think about what you just named. DMX sounds like the realest like New Yorker out of like that group.
Mhm.
And he went through, a lot of hard times, it wasn't like that for everybody else.
But yeah, he was a lyricist.
He was great.
He was a wordsmith. He was.
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Who else
Don't-
we got? Actually,
When I
I'm
say
gonna
this,
look
don't
up
get me
top-
wrong. I love DMX. I listen to DMX's music. I love DMX. I just wouldn't consider him a lyricist the same way. I would
As an
consider-
older person, let me
We got
tell
it.
you that he was. You can take it from me. A fact. He was.
I
a
mean,
lyricist.
honest, he's still in my playlist to this day. So yeah, man. I can't say I got like a lot of those like new people in the playlist. I got a lot of old school.
What's on the? I'm gonna pull up the Billboard
And
right
that's-
now.
Billboard, it's not going to be a lot of rap on there. It's going to be Taylor Swift and a lot of pop.
Yeah, it's gonna be a
But
lot
you-
of
you
Taylor
can-
Swift,
no, you
a
can
lot of
break it down.
Beyonce.
You can break it down to the top Billboard 100 and just put rap in
Probably.
it.
Oh, all right.
It'll filter it out. So as of right
And
now,
probably-
Nicki
it'll
Minaj,
probably
who's
be
been
like a
out
lot of,
forever,
like,
and Nicki Minaj is a
Kanye
lyricist.
shit.
She's annoying as fuck, but she's an
I don't
actual
know how much,
lyricist
but she's a
before she went mainstream, and
Before
she
she
got the
went
ass
pop,
and everything.
she went pop.
Yeah.
Yeah, she went
Yeah.
pop. She sold out. She
Doja
sold
Cat
out.
is slept on, but she can actually rap. I'll give her that.
I feel
You
like
get-
she
wait,
did
wait,
before
wait,
the whole
wait,
mainstream
wait,
thing.
wait,
Honestly,
Trust me, before she
You
went
talking-
mainstream,
hold on.
yes,
Doja Cat
before
can
she
rap.
went mainstream.
Hold
Yes,
on.
yes,
Yeah,
she was.
before she went
Yes,
mainstream.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Shorty got bars.
I've listened to her since YouTube shit when she was memeing and shit. But you telling me that you're gonna give her that credit, but you're not gonna give a lot of other rappers that credit. So like a fucking that's me.
Like
okay,
I
we go
said,
through it.
if you have it, you have it. There's folks who don't have it and make it to the top,
Yeah.
and that doesn't count.
But how are you? What do you?
You don't get
differentiate
any
from?
flowers for that.
I can't
What do you-
even lie. We
You
call
can't
them
skip the line.
they're called industry plants.
Mm-hmm.
So okay,
People that's just planted there.
Like
do you think
Juice
is- who do you-
WRLD, I don't understand. I don't get his music. I haven't listened to a lot of it, but I can
you listen to
tell he
DMX and you
has.
don't get Juice WRLD.
He has. I haven't listened. to
I've
him
never
a lot.
listened to no.
But
Juice
to
WRLD.
what I heard,
They're like-
does. It sounds like he has.
He's very
wouldn't
similar
say-
to DMX. He's very
He
similar
has
to
a
DMX.
lot of storytelling in his music.
Yes, he storytells a lot.
I would say that lyricist, I don't know, but he
if
has
you're
a lot
talking
of
about
good
a freestyle
storytelling.
rappers, go listen to a Juice WRLD freestyle. And
Future,
you can
Future's
tell
a
that's-
horrible rapper.
I don't like Future like that. But go
Yeah,
Juice WRLD.
Future's a horrible rapper.
Juice WRLD alone.
Little
is an
Uzi Vert is
amazing
a horrible
freestyle
rapper.
You can. I will send you a video of him freestyling. For, I
Little
don't know
Baby's
how
a
long.
horrible rapper.
I can't say that. I don't like Little Baby like that, but I can't say he's a horrible rapper. I can't
Yeah,
say
he's
that.
bad.
Yikes.
Trippie Redd's a horrible rapper. Kodak Black is a bad rapper. Little Yachty is also a bad rapper. YG is okay. he needs to put in work, but he has promised.
I'm trying to understand your criteria. What is your criteria from this? Because if it's all subjective, I get that. I can't say anything to you about that. That's what you believe. But do you have an objective criteria that we can apply to everybody that works the same way?
The same three categories: style, flow, and wordplay.
All these,
like I said, those are the core fundamentals of rap. If you don't have those, you can't be considered as a good rapper. Hot or not.
So when these rappers work with people like Dre or work with older rappers like Stoop and they get cosigns from these rappers, and they're the ones that they were popping in your ear, and you said you'll argue they were good.
Heavy on court.
If they give them this cosign and they're still trash to you, what about that? What's the problem with that? What's going on with that?
Well, it's a couple of things I think. One, there's slim pickings. Two, that hey, if I can work with this guy and mold him, he can actually become a better rapper.
He's not going to mold somebody bad. You're not going to mold somebody you think is bad and trying to be something. You have to see something in them to mold them into something
again, like Bow Wow is a perfect example of that.
Okay. So you're saying Bow Wow was a bad rapper before, then they molded him into being something that was popular.
Yeah, they pivot him like, hey, we're going to target you to girls and like your audience and everything else. But no, he
was doing something else before that.
It worked.
It worked. Like,
it worked.
But regular, like I remember buying his first album. I was like, okay, I see where he's going with this. I was in 7th grade when that shit came out. I was like, okay, clearly he's a niche rapper. Like, who's that guy who just raps about women all the time, all lovey-dovey, like Drake, but not Drake. I forget.
A lot of 90s rappers. Well, I can say that because they was 90s rappers did not like women like that apparently because it was wild.
You can thank NWA for that.
You would think they didn't like women at all when they were talking about that shit. I was like, damn, y'all even wanna like get with no women at all, or y'all just not fuck with them at all? That's crazy.
Both.
Yeah, that's the top 25. So
about Black, you like Black at all? Well, Black, I think I consider like more R&B. Well, I don't know. It depends on.
I like Black. He takes his time with his songs. Like, I can hear him clearly. I mean, when he does decide to actually spit something, it's kind of melodic, but it works.
About Meg Thee Stallion. You gonna tell me she's not spitting?
When she goes off, she fucking spits. But I think she could be. She's going to get better. I would say that if she can like get serious and stop going with the Nicki Minaj formula, then
Nicki Minaj formula.
All right.
Yeah, it's different. Like, I would say Cardi B is not doing like a Nicki Minaj formula. Like, she's kind of stay consistent and not bounce around.
I mean, I heard recent that supposedly that Party's been writing her stuff.
I don't know.
Have you heard of him?
I've heard of him, but I don't know how much of her stuff he was writing.
All I know is there's more ghost rappers now than ever before. I don't know that much.
She was on that other girl's song, and he wrote that verse. So,
what song?
That one with what's her name? Glorilla.
Oh yeah, Glorilla
already. I didn't hear that.
I don't care for that guy either.
You mean that woman?
That woman.
Well, see? Yeah, whatever.
I can't. I like her voice.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like she sound like me rapping. Like, so I like her. I mean, I ain't listening much, but she got a little bit of potential for them to, mold her the way they want.
So Rod Wave. What about Rod Wave?
Rod Wave?
Yeah.
Roddy.
He's been like writing a couple people's stuff too.
I'd put him under the DMX like umbrella, where he's like a guy that does a lot of melodies and harmonies, but he like raps, and he's definitely a bigger storyteller than anything else. Like, that's his main thing. That he tells his stories and shit.
Is it I don't know. That one song he got, I guess it's catchy.
Tombstone?
Go for it. Or was that? Maybe I'm thinking about the wrong person.
All right. What about Tierra Whack?
I don't know who that is.
Oh, you don't know? Okay. I'm getting the modern women that are out nowadays.
I don't none of those.
Oh, never mind. We'll keep the women out of it then. You don't know anything about it.
I don't. If it's not Cardi B or Nicki Minaj or SZA or I don't.
How much R&B do you even listen to nowadays?
Not much.
Man, old school. Because R&B ain't the same either.
It's not.
Man,
It ain't never been the same since we stopped singing in the rain, man.
This
it ain't the same.
It sounds like y'all are becoming y'all
Boomers?
parents or the past.
Yeah.
Like the music, I know for a
Boomers?
fact the music y'all are listening to, y'all parents
That's
like,
what it sounds
no,
like.
this ain't. If it ain't Keith Sweat, I ain't rocking with it.
Nah, that's a little bit
If it ain't
before.
Marvin Gaye, I ain't rocking with it.
That's before me. That's before
If
me.
you ain't like
Okay?
Marvin, there's something
But
wrong.
that's what I'm saying. Like the people before you, what they listened to, they didn't like your stuff because it was different from what they listened to. Because me being a young person, that I grew up around my grandparents, so I've been introduced to music from way before my generation. I listened to all of it. I have hella playlists for hella music from different parts of the country, generation, things like that.
Oh yeah, I do too. Cause
And a lot of that music is very similar in a lot of aspects. The
I
only
have
difference,
Spanish music. I have, my playlist is different.
the key difference that I'm seeing is that one, you're in different parts of your life, so music back then isn't going on. Like scientifically, I think any music you hear by the age of 25 is going to be the music you're going to like for the rest of your life.
That's
you're not
true.
Going to give too many. That's a scientific fact. So
Wait,
what it's
what was
sounding
that
like
fact again?
by the age of, like any music that you love and like before the age of 25, the music you're gonna revert to that music for the rest of your life.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm an old soul, so I guess that's what it is.
Not even that. It's just this is the way human nature in general. Like anything you do before the age of 25, that's your default for the rest of your life because that's what's comfortable. That's what's nostalgic. Because human beings are creatures of.
I mean, you can get put onto new stuff, I guess. Why
You get put on a new stuff, but you're never going to give anything new the same credit as you would something old because that's you attach the memory to that.
Unless it's all something that's already old, which is a lot of stuff. I've come across a lot of old music that I've never heard before. Like, yo, this shit popping.
But yeah, it's popping. But when you're not going to objectively admit that it's better than something else. There is music that comes out nowadays that I can say is objectively better than some music or a lot of music from back in the day. But you're never going to say that because you have nostalgia attached to it. You were listening to this album with your cousin and your mom back in the day. You was hooping, listening to this thing or whatever it is. You're going to have that thing attached to your memories or whatever you were doing.
That's true.
Same reason people like sports teams.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. It's going to be very subjective and very biased in a sense.
I need to transfer the Tesla to my.
I'm just trying to. When I'm talking about it, I'm just trying to be as unbiased as possible. And as much as
Me
like
too. I guess I'm just stuck. I like what I like and I hate what I hate. But the thing is, what keeps me grounded is those three fucking factors.
We're stuck in the ways. Yeah, we're stuck in the ways, dude.
Because for me,
like I said, if you don't have those three things, then you're not a good rapper. No matter how popular you are,
But you're not rating those three things the same way because you're looking at them at your age and you're looking at them, but you're viewing.
No,
right now.
That's the best thing about it because it's words. Words don't change. They don't change.
The words don't change, but what they mean to you changes. What words mean to you, how they fit to you change. Cardi, is what I'm saying. Because you're older now, you're looking at things differently. You value different things than you did when you were younger.
No, you can't say that either. So if you're listening to gangster rap and you about that gangster life, this is the same shit he talking. It's gonna be the same shit what happened 20 years ago.
No,
it doesn't change.
The gang. You know, I know that's cap because gangs in general and hood violence is a lot different than it was back then.
It's still the same. At the end of the day,
it's
niggas still killing niggas. Friends still betraying friends. That shit don't change.
Now you sound like a white person talking about rap right now because you're putting all of it in a generalized box right now, Cardi. Shit is completely different.
Yo, beef don't change. When does beef change? Let me know when it changes.
Beef
doesn't.
Let me know when niggas start down over dumb shit. Like when does that shit don't change?
That doesn't change.
It might be a different way, but in the day, it's still the same shit.
But that's the point when it comes to music.
Different color. It's still the same shit.
When it comes to music, music's not changing because it's building off of past shit. But how it's packaged and how you view it is going to be different. Hip hop, when Run DMC and the Sugar Hill Gang were doing hip hop, is completely different. So in that case,
I would say that would count. Like when it comes, like what's that guy who's all depressed and rapping and shit, that died, whatever. It was like talking about drinking perp and popping pills and all that crazy dumb shit. Who was that?
And he died from that?
I'm pretty sure, or not. I don't know, but you know the types that we talking about. Hey, I smoke purple. I need Percocet. I need.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Function. That doesn't. I mean, it's drugs, so that doesn't change from someone in the '90s talking about the same thing. This fucking. I see bodies being burned in my room. Like that doesn't change.
Keeping it rap in general. Would you gonna sit here and tell me rap from like the Sugar Hill Gang era, like the origins of rap when it originated and it was made in New York, is the same way. The words are the same, so it's the same thing as it is during the 90s and going forward. From the origins of rap when it was first created, when it first got hot, it's the same thing. As you're telling me.
The core three things are.
No, it's not, because they weren't even thinking about doing any of that. Don't do that.
Let's
Cardi.
see what. Yes, they were.
Rap, Cardi, you're not gonna tell me rap back then is the same thing. Like this, they weren't even thinking about lyricism like that. They were saying things that rhymed that was fun. They're not thinking about storytelling and all that shit.
See that right there. Stop right there, because they were thinking about storytelling. There's a whole bunch of songs from the 80s about storytelling. Look up Your Mom's a Crack Hole.
Rap started before the 80s.
That's great.
It started before the 80s.
Your mama does crack. Yeah, that was a crazy ass song that got played in the 80s.
Wow.
But I mean, even in the 70s, you would have the Sugar Hill.
Give me a song where Sugar Hill Gang was storytelling, please. I got it.
Is that the hip
the most popular one?
Yes.
Are you serious?
That one right there.
Rappers
Are you
Delight?
crazy?
Are you dumb? What? I'm sorry,
Rappers Delight. Rappers Delight was a story.
Rappers Delight is a whole story.
It is.
From beginning to end.
That's why I'm like,
8 minutes of 10
right
minutes
now?
of niggas rapping about a story. See, now you just gotta go back you guys go back a little bit, catch
and
up.
that's like literally like a classic. Come on,
that's it.
I'm looking at
raps in the 80s, in the 70s were songs. Everything back then were legit stories. R&B, rap, everything were stories. Songs were stories. Songs aren't stories anymore, more or less. If they are, they're really shitty stories.
It depends who you listen
middle,
to.
beginning, or end, or who you listening to.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm literally reading the lyrics verbatim of Rappers Delight, and they're doing what most rappers do. They're embellishing. They're talking about how great they are, how good they are around the world, how women like them. What story are they telling this?
That's the introduction. That's the introduction. They tell about who they are. They talk about what they're going to be doing. So and how great they are, like really how great they are.
So
that's
what most rappers do.
So most how they end.
So most rappers do.
And she ain't good enough, then you take her friend. There's a parable right there. Don't push me. That's right. I'm close to the edge. Grandmaster Flash.
Right. Yes.
Talking about crack and drugs in his community.
So so at this point, it sounds like we're getting into the level of storytelling at this point. Because you're not going to tell me, like, if I'm looking at somebody like a For Your Eyes Only, or I'm looking for shit to enter the entire damn album, or shit like, or fucking.
Well, Mad City was like, 80. I think Mad City was the greatest story from front to end, because the whole CD was a story. So,
I'll say damn to me was the same way, but I just enjoyed that better to me.
Better than Mad?
Yeah. As far as storytelling, that whole album, like you said, the whole album's a story. He made that whole album to be listened to frontwards and backwards and seeing a story from different parts.
Well, yeah, it did have another viewpoint to the story.
He made that whole album.
Mad was more personal, because you haven't heard something like that in a very long time.
So you're going back to when it came out and how it made you feel when it first came out, right?
You actually know it, yeah. For that, because you have to, if you want to bring it back to something that you can remember it to, like, hey, someone hasn't done this in a long time. Hey, who was the last person who done this? Just like an NBA stat. So it's more of a a homage thing than anything else. Gotcha, bitch.
What time? We normally end at 11:30.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. Just make sure I got the trouble.
Storm grenade, bitch. Don't do it. But yeah, man, if you stick to the core threes, and then apply that to any rapper, you'll know if they're good or bad.
Yeah, I'm saying majority of rappers, the popular hot rappers are always going to be the best ones. Let's keep that above. So all the rappers from the 90s that were selling. Well, matter of fact, I want to look at the hot Billboard from the 90s and see what was selling.
You might want to go by year. I think they might do it by decade. I don't know.
90s. Let's see. What's the hot Billboard number one from the 1990s? Number one. Who's number one?
Come on, from the back.
None of this is rap.
Got your phone. Wow, this phone is messed up.
Michael Bolton, Janet Jackson, Paula Abdul. What's a rapper? Damn. 90s rappers were not selling
Those
no
were the 80s.
This is the 90s. I'm looking at the 90s right now.
I'm in the early 90s.
Paula Abdul in the 90s?
Yeah,
we go to 1990. Yeah, 1990. It was Michael Bolton, Paula Abdul, Janet Jackson, Elena Miles, Taylor Dane, Madonna. Where's the rapper at? Damn.
Janet was a
Vanilla Ice was the one selling. It's the first rapper I've seen in the top Billboard 100.
Because he was new and white people could relate to him.
Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston.
Black folks was not feeling Vanilla Ice at all.
No, he wasn't.
That's
where was his money coming from? Because he was part of the hot Billboard 100. He was moving records, and that's before the streaming. He was hot. He was the first white rapper, like famous white rapper. So I'm saying, who was putting money in his pockets then? This is before the streaming era.
It wasn't black folks.
Boys to Men, Whitney
Boys to
Houston.
Men belong there.
I ain't seeing no rappers on this list, my boy. Ain't no rappers out here.
You ain't gonna see no one until go to 93. You ain't gonna really see anyone until 93, 94.
All right, we'll go to 93.
Because back then they wasn't really seeing rap as an actual category.
Oh wait,
rap was being disrespected at that point in time.
93, People, Bryson, Snow, Silk, Janet Jackson.
This is all R&B.
Yeah, this is top Billboard 100. Some like the top things that were selling. Bryson.
Oh, I can tell you, rap is not going to be high on the list. It's by bottom 50. Because rap, like I said, rap wasn't getting play on the radio back then.
Okay. Why do you think it's
nationally?
Why do you think it's getting more play now than it was back then?
Well, rap is accepted now. It's like accepted anywhere, like a fucking Discovery card.
Why though?
True.
Because it's mainstream, it's culture now. It's part of everyone's day life. It wasn't back in the day. It was.
No, I acknowledge all this shit. I'm saying, how? What was the process for getting there? Is what I'm saying.
Like literally growing on people.
You said what?
Just growing on people. Like people are coming out with it. Like you're going to have to accept it sooner or later.
They don't got to apparently, because the way it's looking, we're in 99 and it's Brandy, Britney Spears, Monica, Jennifer Lopez, Destiny's Child. Will Smith is the only rapper in here. Top
Jesus Christ. Like, what?
And that's Wild Wild West.
Oh man, yeah.
So let's go into
and that's again one of the greatest rap songs of all time, "Summertime," which came out way before that. But you know, you ain't gonna get that on
Wild Wild West
Billboard
was
charts.
you don't think that was like a storytelling song though?
I do. I like. I like it. I mean, I like Wild Wild West.
No big. Like I said, it came out before. I mean, that came out after big Summertime. So it's like
now we're in 2000. Christina Aguilera, Savage Green. I'm just gonna look for the first rapper out of this list that I see. I'm not counting Cisco.
I will get off the Billboard. You will have to switch to like Source. You have to use a Source. I don't know if you can even look at it. I'm using
Billboard because this is just, again, Billboard is showing how much, like you said, radio play, because we were going off radio play earlier.
Right, it wasn't a lot. But I'm telling you, it wasn't a lot of radio play for rap in the early 90s.
So
that's why we had the Source Awards, we had everything else separate because it wasn't accepted in mainstream.
Okay, so
that sucked, but that's why we created our own. That's why we got the BET Awards. That's why we had all them other awards, because it just wasn't being accepted.
So I'm going back to what I said earlier as far as the mixtape culture, and that being the primary way that people within our culture are putting on new rappers and putting on young talent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that easy enough to say? I said that earlier.
Yep. That was a process. You had a hot mixtape, and next thing you know, if you heard your shit on the radio, your mixtape on the radio, then you know you were hot enough to make it. Exactly. It was a legit vetting process. There is no vetting process now.
There's a vetting process.
There is not a vetting process, or there wouldn't be so many hot whack ass rappers like getting all this fucking money.
There's really not. It's not that many hot rappers. What it is that rap had the same trajectory as entrepreneurship. Back then, you weren't starting your own business that often. Nowadays, with the internet and how things are, you can start your own business, know how to operate your own business, and meet people that can help you run your business now.
And that's fine, but if you're still garbage juice, you're still garbage juice at the end of the day.
But that's my point. What I'm saying,
you can put a pretty bow on it. It may look nice, but it's still garbage juice at the end of the day.
You're not hearing my point, though. My point being there aren't as many. There's not as many rappers getting on as you would think. They're making money because they're taking their couple thousand people in their fan base, and that fan base, they're making music for that fan base to make the money. The same way if you were making cupcakes and only cupcakes.
Yeah, that's. I mean, there's no problem with that. That's fine.
But those rappers, those rappers doing that aren't the hot rappers. The hot rappers right now are the ones that are selling internationally and selling in every part of the country and every part of other countries. Those are the ones that are that big. And there's not that many of those. And most of those have been the same rappers that have been doing it since like 09, 08 with Drake, Kendrick, them. So
yeah, that's how they made most of their money is doing shows.
Exactly. But you're making it seem like young rappers are just dominating the charts right now and taking over. They're not. It's objectively incorrect. They're just not doing that. They're popular because
who said young rappers is taking over? I'm just saying.
You were talking about the rappers all over the Billboard charts earlier, the ones that are charting, the ones that are doing numbers. That's why I went through the Billboard charts to show that they're not dominating like that. It's mostly the same way it's always been. It's been pop, R&B, have been the things that have been dominating the charts. Rap never.
I was looking at the Billboards for something else. What was I looking at for? Look at that.
But
if anything, it would show the disparities of what happened. Oh, that's right. I looked at see who was right now topping the charts of this year, and if they were hot or not. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
That's the same way. The same thing for the 90s. It's not rappers.
Yeah, I just read off who's on the top Billboard of this year, and if they were whack or not, and 90% of them were whack.
This year,
that's just facts. I read them off.
This year, it's Carolina Gastain, Harry Styles, Jack Harlow, Future, and Drake.
No, the thing is, you have to switch it over to rap. Hot Billboards have separate categories within themselves.
But these rappers are breaking through everything though. Like they're competing with the top people.
Hold on, let me see if I can.
In 2022.
So y'all can see what I'm looking at.
Right now, I'm looking at the songs.
Watch anime.
Right now, I'm looking at the people that were charting number one right now during 2022. And how long it stood there. Shit. Right. We're getting close to the end. I'm not gonna hold it too much, but
here we go. There you go.
Okay, go ahead.
Billboard Top 100. Well, like I said earlier, Nicki Minaj is number one right now.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
She's at number one for the last 11 weeks. We all agree that Nicki Minaj is a good lyricist. She has her own flow. She has three styles. She has three different personalities. Mm-hmm. This also helps her out. So next is Doja Cat. We know that Doja Cat, she's a lyricist. Not so much on storytelling, but she makes
I can't even the lyricist thing, bro.
Yeah, she can rap.
She can rap.
That's the thing. She hates being labeled as an R&B singer because she's a rapper.
But
her being able to rap and her being a lyricist
before it was good, dude.
It was good. I'm not saying it was bad.
Can rap.
But being a rapper and being a lyricist to me are two different things.
No, so like I said, rap, you gotta have part of like at least 2 out of 3 in the category to be considered a good rapper. So if you don't like her lyricist, she has flow and she has a style. So that still makes her a good rapper.
Okay, so then you got to say the same thing about the next couple people then.
I did. Juice WRLD, like I said, I don't know much about Juice WRLD, but I know he has storytelling.
Okay. And
some type of wordplay. But I don't know enough, so I didn't say anything. I'm gonna skip Drake because Drake is all over the goddamn place.
Thanks, Drake.
Future, no storytelling, no wordplay.
That song, I'm putting that more on Drake and Tim's. Is probably what made that song hot more than anything.
Just Future in general. Future's been hot for over 10 years, and I don't know why. He's one of those rappers that has a cult following that I was talking about before. Just enough for him to be eaten.
But the reason he's charting this much is because Drake and Tim's are on that song. They really made that song. That's the reason he's charting.
And that goes back to the whole Feature thing we talked about. But he's not a good rapper. He's not a good rapper.
Yep.
I don't know who Tomorrow is. The song I know.
That's Glorilla and Cardi. Everything you said about Doja applies to these two.
That's the song.
I don't know about Glorilla enough, but we already talked about Cardi B. So we know Cardi B is a legit rapper. She proved herself.
Okay, so we looked at the top. So far we're six songs in, and we've said positive things about everybody up until this point.
Not really,
except Future. Because
you didn't say positive things about Doja. You didn't.
No, I said she was good. I just don't consider her a lyricist. That's my thing.
Okay.
I just have a higher standard of what I
She's still a
consider
rapper. We're putting her down as a rapper. So we have
she's
Nicki
great.
a
I love her
rapper,
music.
Doja's a rapper, Juice WRLD is in a maybe, Future's a no, Cardi B's a yes, Lil Uzi Vert's a no. Okay. I'll give you that because I don't know. Lil Uzi Vert is no.
He has
Little Baby, no. Even though he has 3 hits, 8, 9, and 10, he is not a good rapper.
As good as you think Doja Cat's a rapper, he's just the same quality of rapper as she is.
No, he's not.
Yes. Yes.
He doesn't have wordplay. His flow is really bad.
Name the last Lil Baby song you listened to.
I really don't know the name of it, but
you gotta give
all I know, he said, "Wah wah wah, bitch, I'm a baby. Therefore, you're a child in my eyes. You're not a real rapper if you decide to put that in your song. You're trash."
Doja Cat said, "Bitch, I'm a cow" on her first big song.
Yeah, well, that's her.
I didn't think that she
That's
actually knew she was gonna go like famous off that song, dude.
I don't think she knew that either.
That's
that was
music
supposed to
she
be
put
a
out.
joke.
It's music she put out.
It is music that she put out, but she had
where bitch I'm the baby isn't a joke.
I don't know. He called himself Little Baby. I don't
know.
take someone like that real serious.
I don't think any of those little serious. I don't.
ODB said ODB was doing all kinds of wild shit on a song, and that wasn't a joke. That nigga was doing all kinds of sounds and different ad-libs and shit on the song. And it was a joke.
We know Doja. She's in her own category. Like she knows she's quirky, and it's part of her.
I'm saying, you take other stuff outside of
this
that.
Fucking fly keeps flying in front of me.
That's
like I said,
point.
3 categories. We have to 3 categories, man.
And you're judging her for other stuff versus that one thing. You judge Lil Baby just not off of that one thing. And you can't get
No, I heard his songs before. Like I said, he doesn't have wordplay. He's not a lyricist. He doesn't have a flow. So he's missing 2 out of 3. Therefore, he's out.
It sounds like you haven't heard enough to say that he's out. Though, what I'm saying.
I mean, if we can run another episode and play 3 songs from everyone's side. We can read it and decide that.
You can't.
Oh yeah, well we can do that separately. We can read stuff. So we don't have to play it. We can read it. When we're reading lyrics, we can do that. I don't know why Billie Eilish. Oh, okay, the song is Molly. I don't like that song. That song is not original, but it's for the kids, I guess.
Is it really for the kids? I thought it was like
I guess. I don't listen to Billie Eilish.
My point is a Lil Baby thing. What I'm
big
saying
T-shirt. I'm Billie Eilish. I don't whatever. That's a horrible hook. Whatever.
What I'm saying is
horrible hook.
It sounds like you haven't heard enough of him. If I judge Cardi,
I'm not saying nothing. I'm not gonna say he's good or bad. I'm just saying I'm leaving it undecided.
You say he's a terrible rapper. You just say you judged him off.
No, I said that was a terrible hook. I don't know the guy. It's a terrible hook.
That was like his first big song. That's freestyle.
Okay, that's still a terrible hook.
And like
even that's a punchline, it's still a terrible punchline.
Yeah.
Lil Baby's on here 4 more times. God damn, why is he on here so much?
Because he's good. That's why he's on here so much.
No, he's not good. He's widely accepted. That doesn't make him good.
Let's say he's catchy, because I've never heard him. I don't listen to him. But then again, I don't listen to all the littles. I don't listen to what's that midget's name? The Baby.
Also bad.
But
the Baby. Now the Baby is. The Baby. I would say he has style, and he has some sort of twisted lyricism. Like he can rap, but
I don't really listen to him.
He's not polished. He's not a polished rapper.
How much are you listening to? My point being, you can't have an overall opinion on somebody you don't listen to.
Yeah,
I've heard half of his album. What I've heard so far, that he's okay.
Baby, I'll give you the Baby, but you just tell me with Lil Baby, you listen to one hook on a first song that came out like 4 or 5 years ago almost on a mixtape.
No, I can say I never heard the Baby mixtape. If I can find it, I'll let you know.
Lil Baby, I'm not Lil Baby. Lil Baby, I'm not really worried about him like that. I thought he was cool.
I don't know. You have Lil Yachty. Lil Yachty's a horrible rapper. Like I said, YG is okay.
What was the last Lil Yachty song? I'm not arguing that Lil Yachty's a good rapper. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying.
Hey, when the last time he did come out? He hasn't come out with a song in a while, right?
He has other stuff that's come out. He's been on features and stuff.
I don't count features.
Plus, he's been writing for a lot of people lately. Like he's been writing for a lot of like the City Girl stuff that was pop. Like he wrote a lot of that.
See, that makes sense. So he can write garbage. Okay, that makes sense. Kodak Black, I don't care for him. I don't like his punchlines. I don't like his style.
I'll be honest, I got
like
right there. I can't listen to him because I don't like who he is as a person.
Yeah, he's problematic. That's
and
why
he disrespects black women, and I can't.
King Combs?
Yeah, that's why I'm at with the.
I never heard of him, but that's the top 25.
So out of the top 25, you literally gave majority of that top 25 positive comments outside of Future, Lil Baby, which we've talked about. You got to listen to Lil Baby before you can have an objective. Like for me, you can't objectively.
No, we have less good than bad. So Nicki, Doja, and then we have
Juice WRLD. Hold on, go back. Hold on, slow down, boy. You said Doja, Nicki, Juice WRLD, 10. Well, I'm not gonna.
Juice WRLD's a maybe. Cardi B's in.
So we're not okay. Maybe not in at all. We can't put it in between.
Yeah, we have maybe because I haven't listened enough to make a.
So then it means we got to put Lil Baby in the maybe then too, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna look up Lil Baby first album and mixtape if he has one, because usually the mixtapes are different than the album.
Right. So you said Cardi was. You said you certified Cardi, right?
I'm certifying Cardi. She's a rapper.
Glorilla's a maybe. So that's 8 people so far.
Out of the 25, that's
Well, half of 25 songs.
That's bad. Well, half of the damn chart is Little Baby. That's the problem.
Right. So let's keep going. I'll give you Uzi whatever because Uzi isn't really making that much of a rap to me anymore.
Yeah, Uzi, Trippie Red is bad. Young Thug. I mean, he ain't young no more. Jeez.
That's cool.
He's barely a rapper.
The Trippie Red one, that's more Don Toliver and Trippie Red to me, but
I don't like Trippie Red. He's a bad rapper.
Young Gravy,
who the hell is Young Gravy? That's a horrible name.
It's a bad name. Keep going. I'm not gonna get
wow.
Young Gravy.
That's a whole different conversation.
I don't even know how to even process that. Kodak Black, not a good rapper. Then we have that rapper. YG is a maybe. I have to listen to him more, but what I heard so far was good. Not enough to solidify him as a rapper.
So out of that whole list, we acknowledge most of that as Lil Baby. That's 9 rappers out of that list. That's majority of the people on there. You said positive things about it. You either certified or you said maybe you got to listen to. That's 9.
They got 2 out of 3 for being categorized a rapper.
You said what?
Yep, they got 2 out of the 3.
2 out of 3.
I think Cardi and Nicki is the only one that got 3 out of 3.
You got a 3 out of 3 or 2 out of 3?
3 out of 3. They both. Yeah, style, flow, wordplay. Yeah.
You didn't give it to Doja Cat either?
No, I'm not giving it to Doja. Doja doesn't get all 3.
Not Drake?
Drake does not get all 3. Wait, hold on.
Buddy been hot for over a decade now.
Now, I've listened to 3 generations of Drake.
We talked about Jay earlier.
I don't think he's getting any better. But Drake is a lyricist. Drake has multiple flows over the years.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not too big on the storytelling, but he's a rapper.
But before we close out, all I'm saying is my point being, we talked. The whole point was you talked about young rappers dominating the charts and how it's overrated, blah blah blah, blase. My point being, it's not what you think it is. We just went through the Billboard Top 100, as far as or I don't even 100. Maybe it's probably like top 15, 20 of rap alone, and 9 people. Majority of that list were people that you either certified and said were good, or people that you just did listen to enough. Do you see why?
And they weren't young. Those folks weren't young. Like Doja Cat's over 30, Cardi's over 30. Like these folks got kids. So
they're part of this rapping generation. At least they're what people listening to right now.
I mean, they're part of this generation. They're part of the last decade generation. So
they just started making music for. They made music for.
Oh, Nicki.
Nicki for sure.
Nicki's been making music since 2010. Cardi B has been making music since that back then as well.
She was making me, but nobody was checking for her back then.
Yeah, no one's checking for her. She was making music, so like I said,
her prime is right now in this generation. Is what I'm saying.
My issue is, like I said, like you're saying, we're just wrapping it up. The young rappers of today does not compare lyrically, flow, or style wise to the young rappers of our generation. It's not the same.
It's not. I'll give you that.
It's not the same.
That's subjective. I'm not going to argue that.
Trial through fire with less resources.
Last thing I'll say on it, I promise this is the last thing. What I will say, majority of those rappers from back then, they started popping and doing their best when they were in their mid to late 20s and early 30s. That's when their biggest, most successful, most highly acclaimed stuff was coming out, when they were older. When they were younger, people said they were okay and they were all right, but they didn't listen to them until they got big and were established and they had time to.
No, that's not true.
We just talked about, you gave me your best Jay album, and I looked at his most successful album, both of them when he was like mid to late 20s. That was Jay alone. That's factually true. That's factually true. We looked that up.
As it comes to albums, I'm not really talking about records as per se, but I'm talking about as the individual, like the actual rapper themselves. Like so their ability at their age, they might be the nicest person in the world, but they might not push a lot of stuff. It doesn't take away their talent. So
you told me his best stuff was when he was 30. You told me the Blueprint was you said that was the best album Jay put out.
I think that was the best album he put out. But
and he did that when he was like, I think it came out in like 99, 2000.
Yeah, 99, 2000. But so if you go 10 years before that, when he was in his teens, he was a crazy good rapper. That might have been his best album, but that doesn't take away how good he was at the time at his age.
It wasn't, but we're talking about at his peak. We let him develop and get to his peak of how best he could be, and that was when he was in his mid to late 20s. All I'm saying is you're comparing people at their developmental stages, and some people are starting differently, starting different places.
Yeah, and that's fine, but everyone has a base point. So how high is your base point? Is your base point at the bottom of the glass, or is your base point at the top of the glass?
But now your base point doesn't necessarily mean how good. Like you look at somebody like, I'm not gonna get into it. We go all day about it, but it was a great conversation, y'all. I had fun. We probably did more talking about music than we did gaming, but it was fun all nonetheless. Thank you guys for tuning in. This has been another episode
Kevin Conroy.
of the Podcast. R.I.P. Kevin Conroy. You'll be missed forever. By me, the rest of the world. You've been a huge role model and just figure in nerddom. So we appreciate you for everything you've done. R.I.P. Again, guys, thank you for your support. We hope for your continued support. If you want to find us anywhere else, you go over to YouTube at the Then and Now Podcast. We would appreciate your subscription. And just time we have more videos coming out over there, video essays, more gaming content coming there, review things. Tune in. We'd appreciate it. Again, I'm Charlie, the Then and Now Podcast. We have the Cardi Experience. Tink, I don't know, Tink, if you have a full name, or we just Tinker.
No, it's just Cardi Experience.
It's Tinker.
Tinker.
Yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in. This has been the Then and Now Podcast. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
All right.